Very well, welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. Last time, we explored the city of Shevat, and let's not waste any more time here. Let's go straight to the Shevat Palace. Last time we did quarters of hours as an episode. Let's hope we'll take a little bit less time here. I haven't sold anything off screen. Maybe we're gonna do it now. Hi Maria, how you doing? This way, please. How about we messed around the palace before? I seriously doubt any spy would be able to get in. And as I expected, since we have no people from the surface, there's increased security. And you never know what might happen. If anything ever happened to the Queen, it'd be disastrous. How's the surface doing lately? I'm sure the people down there are living blindly yet peacefully as usual. Yeah, you can bet on it. This is a merchant, right? Long ago, I've heard that a lone Choo-Choo was taken from the town by wise men. Haven't heard what happened after that. I hope that Choo-Choo is doing well. No, it's not that. I know there's a Choo-Choo, there's a merchant. This is the library where many books are gathered. This place is packed with many ancient books that you cannot find on the surface. If you're a book fanatic, you'll drool over books like our first run prints, limited books, autograph books, banned books, and mountains of hard to find books, and more mountains of books. Ah, it's too much. Well, setting that aside, if there's something you want to know about from the past, it'd be good to go and talk to librarians. Don't worry. It's their job anyway to tell the new people from the surface about the past. Alright, we'll check it out. The powerless are maimed and slaughtered all because of those crazed leaders give out one bloodlusted order. It doesn't matter how advanced the technology or culture is. It's the same thing, no one thing has changed over the years. It's gotten so sad you can almost laugh. How long does this have to last? This is the tactical command room. Currently, we're keeping track of the activities of Boss Solaris and the land and collecting data. Lately, there's been a lot of unusual activity down on the surface. You think Solaris found something? No. Maybe. Maria's truly done so much for us, as of now. Many of us consider her to be the guardian angel of Shevat. Regardless of how well she can control Shebden, she's only a 13-year-old girl. She's probably worried sick about her father, who's been captured by Solaris. Balthazar strongly told Maria not to leave Shevat under any circumstances. He probably said that because he knows that if provided with a chance, that child would immediately try to fly off to Solaris. All by herself to rescue her captured father riding on the Shebden. Yeah, probably. So there's a door there. Let's see. There's more stuff over here. Welcome to Shevat. We already heard that you are our guests. Please use this room as you please. You are welcome to use the bed to rest. So you're the newcomers from the surface? It seems you all aren't like the usual land dwellers we get. But we're always happy to have more friends to fight against Solaris. I look forward to working with you. And me too. Trident holds the true power in Solaris is what I'm saying. The irony of fate. Once that man fought alongside Ronnie Fatima, Queen Zephyr and Lacan against Solaris. To protect Shevat from the outside, the ancient technology of the gate is used. It's fundamentally the same thing as the stuff Solaris has planted on the surface. Even with Solaris technology, the gate cannot be broken through. But at times, I come to think about whether this gate is only for protecting us from Solaris. Maybe that man left this gate behind to separate us, to isolate us from the rest of the world. If that was his intention, the Krelan is indeed dreadful. Does that man's resentment run that deep? Oh no, I don't know. There's a lot of doors here, like a lot, and you have to check them all. So hungry. Is the meal ready yet? Whatever you do, it all goes back to food. You got that? Food. For me, I get the feeling I'm most alive when I'm eating. Isn't it the same with you guys? You eat to live, or live to eat? We don't even know, do we? I bet those Solarians are always eating all the good stuff. That's unforgivable. Are you the merchant? Humans are truly unusual living beings, aren't you? You're all like shattered fragments of a mirror. Where do I have heard that? The great 500 years ago, I can't remember like it was yesterday. That's something I can't get myself to forget. Many lives were lost, much love, many dreams, friends, those irrepressible important things in our lives were scattered and left to bleed. Are those days going to return once again? I don't want my children or grandchildren to go through that nightmare. What this just said, the fragments of a shattered mirror, You know, you can find that in Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if I already told you that. When Cloud is on the wheelchair, and you can talk it on a very specific moment with Sid. He says fragments of mirror Xenogears and stuff like that. He references the game, and that's why the fragmented mirrors. Further down is it hasn't been used for several hundred years though. It isn't anything worth seeing. Well, I guess you could say he had a similar barbaric face like the land dwellers. You know, since we are stupid, we're gonna check it out anyway. Anything over here? Never actually went to this place. I mean, I did, because you have to do during the story, but never actually did before you had to do that. That day, 500 years ago, that woman was definitely here. There was no other alternative but to be a captive. We could have won at the cost of many sacrifices, only if that traitor hadn't disappeared with the woman. The escaped woman freed the beast. The beast sucked the human blood and ate their flesh, and tore the world apart. What the hell? Since then, people have found themselves groping in the dark. They've been atoning for a crime 500 years. I want you to be careful, young one. Don't follow the same path of the traitor, drowning in love. I mean, I know what this woman is talking about. Yeah, damn. That's some pretty hard shit there. What's in here? What is... Oh, I know what this place is. This is a machine created to put brutal criminals and dangerous monsters to sleep. This isn't expected to be used again, but it is ready anytime, just in case. Anyone with no business here should leave. Get out right now. Alright, can I mess around with it? I can't. You can even go on it? Oh well. Yeah, I knew what that was. I just wanted to see if there was something to do with it. Can I talk to you? This is a carbonite case that petrifies humans alive. Regardless of whether it was only used on criminals, it is still heinous. No matter how you look at it, they've sure thought of cruel things. By the way, you land dwellers know about the Nissen tragedy during the Great War? Did you hear from the higher-ups? Nope. Can you tell us? I doubt they told you. Those old men politely avoid talking about it. Do they think the truth will disappear if they turn away from the past? Bunch of fools. Be careful, Endweller. You'll have a terrible time if you open up your heart to those old men. Just like they did in Nizan 500 years ago. Okay, what if I answer yes? Blah, blah, blah. Come on. Yes. I'm surprised they told you, so you know what it is, don't you? Don't believe everything those old men say. Nothing good will come of it. Okay. What about you? This is where we keep the criminals in their cells. It's being said that soldiers from Solaris were locked up in here long ago. I've heard that even done many atrocious things at that time. War is like that. It abolishes good and bad. One betrays friends, neighbors, even his own flesh and blood. War turns even good, kind humans into crazed monsters. Alright, we've seen the prison. Let's see what other facilities this palace has. Alright. Is there any doors here? I see a lot of doors. There's one. Ooh, what is this? I've never been here. Whoa, I just dropped down. Oh, you can go back up here. Okay, fine. I was wondering, wait a minute, how do I go back up then? What is this? This month is going to be very tight too. We must cut down on rations a little to make it. But everyone will probably gripe about that. What am I gonna do? Oh, this is where they store food then. Okay. Some interesting room. I've never actually been here. You. I mean, you. This door. What's going on here? What is this place? We're still running around in the sky because of the war that broke out 5 years ago. It doesn't make any sense. Why do we have to suffer for what our ancestors did? What do you think? I can't even get fresh ingredients for meals. I've had it. Okay, so this is where they cook then. It's Yui! What are you doing here? Oh, welcome. You look good, Faye. The meal will be ready soon. Please join us and eat to your heart's content. Yui? Why are you here? That's a good question. Oh, didn't I tell you before? I was born here. Oh, really? I mean, I know that, but... After you left the village, I decided to return to Shevat along with the survivors of the village, because the soldiers from Ava and Kislev were showing up around there. I see. I'm sorry for putting so much trouble on you. What are you saying? It's not your fault. There's nothing to worry about. The people from the village understood after they came here and heard the story. They couldn't blame only you for that incident because Solaris was behind it. Yes, but... Excuse me, but... Who's this? Oh, you've never met her before. This is Doc's wife, Yui. Wonder if Doc's here, what happens? That would be interesting to know. The wife of Shitan. Ha, I take it you're Bard, the Orc of the Desert, right? The Orc of the Desert. That's some new name I've never heard of. I've heard a lot about you. You've been quite busy. It's nice to meet you. Yes, how do you do? Have you met the Queen? If you haven't, go say hello to her as soon as possible. Okay, then I'll see you later. I seriously wonder what happens if you come here with Shitan. He's probably not gonna say anything, but nice to see that little cutscene. Midori still doesn't talk. It says, "Choo-choo, my friend." Okay. Hi there. Midori really talks a lot. It's amazing how much stuff you have to talk about. We can have a conversation without talking. Have you forgotten already? What? What does that mean? Did they... To choo-choo? Can choo-choo... communicate with their minds? I don't know that. Or maybe it was just a metaphor, I don't know. You just arrived from the surface, didn't you? I've heard about you. They said you saved your colleagues captured by the Ethos. Thank you very much for that. I wish they give me a mission. I'll teach the Solarians a lesson. Oh, and you are? I feel like I've met you before. You resemble Khan, the one who taught us the art of fighting. Nobody knows his whereabouts after he went down to the surface on the Queen's mission. I doubt something bad happened to him considering his skills, but I wonder where he is. Faye, are you not gonna say anything? Khan is your father, for crying out loud. Alright. Whatever, since it's not story related, I guess you don't have anything to... What the hell's going on here? Oh, there we go. Glitchy door. Then you'll let me through. Now, there's 3 doors here. Damn. This place is huge. Long ago, I swear with God in a parasite in the sky called Manahon. The place was protected by the power of God. Humans were never exposed to the fear or danger of death. However, one day, humans entered God's forbidden garden and ate a fruit which bestowed upon them tremendous intelligence and power. God found out about the incident and the humans were banished from the paradise. The prosperous times were over, and an era of sorrow and hatred began. That was the first part of the legend of Genesis that was passed on from long ago. They say a legend such as this contains some truth in it. I know about that. I know everything about what you're talking about. Humans banished from the paradise were foolish enough to revolt against God. In order to resist the power of God, they created 12 animal relics and called themselves gods. For 10 days, 10 nights, the world shed its blood. Manahon was enveloped in flames. But human strength was no match for a god, and the arrogant humans were destroyed by God's anger. Only a few righteous men were left on the land. However, God was also tired and wounded. He decided to rest in the deepest earth. God's rest was long, but eternity is only a moment to a god. Since then, the righteous men who didn't revolt against God had to live in the harsh nature by themselves, being in constant fear of death. The legend also says the following: when the righteous man's children are born again, God will awaken from his long rest and give a helping hand to them. If the legend is true, what will the awakening God bring to the people? What kind of existence is God? I know, but I don't want to tell you. I'm not telling you. It's spoiler alert. It is not known how much of the Genesis legend is true. Pretty much most of it. However, the animal relics made through God's wisdom do exist. Solaris' Gazel Minister is desperate to find the animal relic in Manahon, a place known to be God's resting place. If Solaris attains that power, no one will be able to stop them. What will happen to the world then? Well, let's try not to make that happen. How about that? I mean, I know all about that. I know how much of that is true, and pretty much everything is true. Pretty much. Maria's father, Dr. Nikolai, was captured by Solaris and nothing has been heard from him since. In any case, I'm sure he's being forced to do research on gears. If they develop steps then further into a new gear weapon and start mass producing them, well, to say the least, it will be more than we could ever handle. Balthazar brought Maria to Shevat about 5 years ago, along with his captain. Balthazar said he sneaked into Solaris by himself and tried to save Dr. Nicola and Maria. He laughed and he told me that he managed to escape with Maria and take a Siebzen as a souvenir. Interesting stuff. But we are not done yet. What's in here? Oh, I see. So you're the son of Khan. Have you met Queen Zephyr yet? No, we don't. Still, she still can't forget about the tragedy in Nizam during the Great War 500 years ago, even though it's not her fault. I assume she can't forgive herself for betraying and abandoning her fellow members, though she knows what was going on. Oh my, I've said too much. I'm not supposed to know anything. Anyhow, keep up the good work in overthrowing Solaris, young man. We'll do that. Eventually. It'll take us a long time. 2 discs worth of content, but we'll make it eventually. Alright then, let's see. You can rest here if you want to, you can save, but I don't need to. Let's just move on. You sell stuff now. No, you don't. I know there's a tutu with orange hair that sells stuff. Oh, well, look at all these people to talk to. This is the library. Surviving through the Great War of 500 years ago and the Diabolos collapse, we and the rest of our comrades secluded ourselves on Shevat. At the time, Shevat was being constructed at the tip of Babel Tower, but we were able to escape to the sky before Solaris once again descended to the land. Since then, we've been wandering the skies while overlooking at the activities of the land below. Okay. After the war, Solaris used the gate, like ours, to separate itself from the surface. And then they erased all memory of their existence from the surface dwellers. Due to this, the surface dwellers are still not aware they have been secretly dominated by Solaris all along. To be born into a false reality, to grow up in it, and to die in it, without ever approaching the truth. That is the life of a surface dweller. Pretty sad existence if you put it that way. You're probably already aware of this. But this Shevat is protected by a special gate made possible by an ancient technology. Even Solaris cannot break this barrier. Because of that, we were able to avoid being invaded to this day. But even with that, we don't have the power to attack Solaris either. It's a stalemate. Basically, we're just being glaring at each other. Okay, for all the people here, let's start from you. After the collapse of Diabolos, similar to the land dwellers, the heavily beaten Solaris forces began to pull back and return to their home country, taking along with them vast numbers of land dwellers as slaves. We couldn't stop them. The only way for the war-torn land dwellers to survive was to depend on Solaris. After the brief moment of hope, Solaris once again began to reign over our lives. A cold and harsh era had begun. 500 years have passed, and the reign still continues. No one knows how long this is going to last. Those giants would fought long ago to save us, an existence which surpasses all other gears. They are the legendary Omni-Gears. One of them is the treasure of the Aver royal family, which is currently resting somewhere within the continent of Ignis. This is spoiler! This is spoiler! What the hell are you talking about? But I can't guarantee that. Oh, okay, you can't guarantee that. Sorry, I spoiled everything for you. Damn this guy, though. It's still a spoiler. That's spoiler. The reason mankind was able to make it through and survive certain death 500 years ago was because the power of these giants created through God's wisdom. Ronnie, Fatima, and the other young fighters piloted these giants and destroyed. Okay, this is definitely a spoiler. Look at this. You can just basically connect the two things. Look, he's suspecting that the treasure of the Fatima family of Bard is an Omni-Gear. And then he says, I'm not sure, but then this woman says, hey, Ronnie Fatima piloted something like a gear. Definitely not the Omni-Gear. Definitely not. Definitely not the treasure. Definitely not. Seeing as an opportunity to counterattack, mankind desperately stood up against Diabolos and successfully annihilated them. Ronnie, Fatima, Queen Zephyr, and the rest of the young ones put their lives on the line and won back the future for this world. Okay. Oh, this part here. Oh, Ronnie, Fatima, isn't that my ancestor? So you're saying my ancestor Ronnie fought alongside Queen Zephyr against Solaris? Yeah, Bart. I wonder what happened. You know, I wonder if he had here. Spoiler for later episodes. Again, Diabolos, the sudden appearance of the mysterious army, put a full stop to the battle between the humans 500 years ago. Those angels of death, utterly unrivaled, with no fear of mercy. Their only intention was to eradicate all life on this planet. Even Solaris' proudest gear battalions were mere flies to them. Nothing stopped them as they indiscriminately slaughtered and trampled upon countless lives. At that time, people were certain that the end of the world was approaching. Dominated by feelings of constant fear and hopelessness, it was a dreadful life. If there's one thing that I never got in Xenogears, is this Diabolos deal. And I know what it is. But I don't know if it's mentioned in the game. When this happened, it wiped out 98% of the population currently on this planet. And it was unreal. How the heck were they stopped? That's the thing that I don't get. I have to check Perfect Works. It's probably written there somewhere. Because I don't get it. They just wiped out pretty much all of the population. And there was a reason why they did that. Or maybe, oh no, I remember now why. I remember now, but I can't say it. Because it's a spoiler. So the animal relics were created by God's wisdom. I wonder if that's really the case. All in all, that unit was meant to merge with something inorganic. That would be the proper assumption. It is foolish of humans to try to depend on such things. Oh my, I've said too much, forget what I said. Don't spoil me the story! The power of the Xenogears was so great, they could even hold back Diabolos' collapse 500 years ago. If any more of these fall into the hands of the enemy, our future and even those of the land dwellers would be... I implore you, land dwellers, we require your assistance. Shivat must collect the remaining animal relics by any means necessary. Okay, so the Omnigears did that? I guess that could be the second reason. I know why the Diabolos didn't kill anyone, but that reason I can't say. The Diabolos could have been just another reason. I mean, the Omnigears could have been another reason. That which the Gazel Ministry of Solaris desperately seeks is the 12 animal relics created by God's wisdom. The merging of an animal relic and a gear can produce an Omnigear, but the subject must be in suitable synchronization, or else the transformation will not occur. Some of the animal relics have been discovered, but there are still more left undiscovered, sleeping deep in the earth. Even we have been devoting much to the search, but to no avail. Sure. Alrighty then. Is that it? Tell me that's it. No, it's another door. What's in here? What's this? Are they doing chemistry here? Alright, let's see. The limiter restrains the lamb's abilities, but there may be a way to remove it. Tower Amelkir, he used it to be one of the 3 sages of Shevat. He must know a way to remove the limiter. That's an interesting thing. The whereabouts of the 3 sages, Melchior, Balthazar, and Gaspar, have not been known since the Great War. There's even a rumor that they lost faith in humans because of the tragedy in Nizan. Solaris' activities have increased once again. I wonder where they are and what they're up to. A man named Krelian was the mastermind behind the planting of the limiter in the lamps. He was originally a lamb. He learned molecular engineering from the sage Melchior personally. But he misused it for such a terrible act, an unbelievable monster. What about you? This land is a testing ground for Solaris. Their objectives are genetic engineering, crossbreeding, and mind control. They want to collect data from the newly generated organism and general combat data. Lambs are mere livestock to be raised for Solaris purposes. Dietas was established mainly to control the lambs. We know about that. What? What data? Then this wars that lasted for hundreds of years on the Ignis continent. It was just a farce plotted by Solaris? I see. That's how it was. It's not a farce. To them, it's an important simulation under strict restrictions. Creating appropriate organisms that can align themselves with the animal relics is one of the important objectives. In any case, the lambs will continue to be Solaris guinea pigs unless someone stops them. The scientists of Solaris had bitter experiences in the revolt by the lambs 500 years ago, so they decided to do some work on the lambs. They inserted various limiters so they would never be able to revolt. For the past 500 years, Solaris controlled the lambs' consciousness, behavior and all. Naturally, lambs don't know anything about it. That makes it even more unforgivable, although it's highly efficient. Yeah, I don't know if that's... No, actually it's mentioned later in the game, sorry. I can say something that will later be mentioned. So let's say this is the only way forward. We're gonna go forward with the story a little bit, and then we're gonna end the episode. Hey there! You're finally here. Where have you been? Why are you here? Good question, Faye. I've told you before. I've learned martial arts with your father in Shevat. That doesn't explain. The wind is waiting. Go ahead. That doesn't explain why you're here. What are your reasons to be here? Just because you learned your martial arts here doesn't give you any reason to come back. Alright. Please come in. Let's meet the queen. Thank you for coming such a long way. I'm the Queen of Shevat, Zephyr. Thank you for coming. What is this? It's just a kid. To be like this, but I'm currently 522 years old. 522? Is that really possible? Yes. I and a select few of the vassals have undergone some special life-extending treatments. You are required to continue living until that final day approaches, because of one man. To continue living, this is our atonement for that tragedy 500 years ago. Let us discontinue this discussion of the past. I've heard many things about all of you from Wiseman. Wiseman has been conducting his operation on the surface under my orders, to keep an eye on that man's activities. Also, he was ordered to bring anyone from the surface who would be helpful to us to Shevat. 500 years ago, we fought against Solaris for the freedom of the land dwellers. Even after that, we continue to resist Solaris, although we are short of any real power. Land dwellers, can you find it in your heart to help us? We must free mankind from the grasp of Solaris. We must gain freedom and build a peaceful world to live in. Something is not right. This fight for independence from a tyrant. The battle for freedom. I see, you make it seem like your intentions are noble. In reality though, maybe you're no different than Solaris. Anyway, I'm too busy with trying to take Ave back from that bastard Shakan. Hate to break this to you, but I don't have the time. You are apparently nothing like the calm and quiet Roni Fatima, Bart. Yet you're so similar to Roni at the same time. There's logic beyond what you say, though. However, I tell no lie. When I say we're doing this purely for the future of the land dwellers, if you still cannot believe us, then defeat Solaris, gain back the independence of the land dwellers, and then see if we still embrace the heavens together. The pretext of the past, the discord between nations. Why be concerned at such a small scale? You must look at the bigger picture. It should do you some good if you rest in the palace and think about it. You must think about what you ought. But remember, Solaris has been quite active lately, so if we don't have much time for leisure. Faye, go with Shevat. Your father would have wanted you to. There are doors to check. Hang on. Before resting. What's here? Just the room? Status suspicious. What is it? Nothing. Wonder what this room is here. It's empty. There's nothing here. Alright. Just decorative room then. What about the other one? Where does this lead? Oh, I know where this leads to. This leads outside. Yes, indeed. I didn't know you could go here. Maria's here. Hi there. Are you finished talking to the queen? What do you all plan on doing? Are you going to fight alongside the people of Shevat against Solaris? Everyone is searching for a reason to live, a reason to fight, to understand better the meaning of death. However, that is something we must find on our own and make it our own. That is what my grandfather said, though I don't understand what he meant by it. It's already been 5 years since my grandfather brought me to Shevat. Grandfather and the queen always told me not to leave Shevat, that I must not go to Solaris alone. There's no way I could lose to any other gear in my Sibzen. There's no way. I'll step on all those Solarians with Sibzen, beat them all down. Why does grandfather and the queen stop me? Don't they care what happens to father? Are they just going to stand by and watch him die? I can't give the tortured father and those who silently stand by and watch. Even as we speak, my father in Solaris may be... Now next time on Xenogears, we'll proceed with the story. And hopefully, and yeah, accept the request of the queen, because what were you thinking we were doing? See you guys then.